A man bought a corpse that was already dead, pretending it was his father, and sent it to a private hospital for emergency treatment. He begged the doctors to save his father at any cost, no matter how much money it took. The doctors didn't even ask about the person's condition or take a single glance before pushing the body into the operating room. Only when they touched the body did they realize there was no heartbeat. Yet, they still insisted on performing surgery on a dead person because they had already grasped the family's mindset. The young man from earlier clearly had a strong sense of filial piety. To save his father's life, he would spare no expense. This was the perfect opportunity for them to bleed the family dry. A group of doctors began putting on a show, bustling about. The attending physician approached the man and handed him a list, urging him to quickly buy the medicines from the pharmacy next to the hospital, as many special drugs were only available at designated locations. The man saw dozens of drugs on the list but had no idea what each one was for. Following the list, he filled 2 large bags with medicines from the pharmacy. He then handed the bags to the nurse and kept asking what the drugs were for. The nurse, however, maintained a cold attitude. Afterwards, the nurse sent the drugs back to the pharmacy unopened. The man had just spent a lot of money on the medicines when the doctor came out and told him that an additional 500,000 yuan was needed for the surgery fee. The man said he had already paid the surgery fee when he first arrived. The doctor explained that due to his father's critical condition, a renowned medical expert had to be invited to perform the surgery, which required additional payment. After the man paid again, a solemn-looking expert entered the operating room while the family anxiously waited outside. Inside, however, was a scene of tranquility. All the doctors and nurses were gathered together, chatting. Every half an hour or so, one of them would walk out, quickly shifting from a cheerful to a serious expression. Each doctor was more like an experienced actor. They tricked the man into paying several more times. When the man had invested all his savings, the doctor finally emerged with a heavy expression, informing the man that the patient had died. The man kept pleading with the doctor to try again, but the doctor said they couldn't revive a dead person. At this point, the man's anxiety suddenly turned to calmness. He asked the doctor, "Aren't you experts at treating the dead?" Then, he took out the corpse's death certificate, revealing that the body wasn't his father's at all. He had bought it from a crematorium. "So, what exactly have you been doing in there for over 8 hours?" he asked. "As long as there's money in my account, is there always hope of being revived?" It turned out that the man's purpose this time was to take revenge on this hospital. 5 years ago, his pregnant wife had suffered a massive hemorrhage. The man had rushed her to this hospital, but the unscrupulous doctors, in order to extort money from him, had disregarded his wife's safety and missed the optimal rescue time. As a result, the man had lost both his wife and child. He had then decided that this hospital must pay the price.